Hey guys, it's Samir here from Project Street Royals, and today I'm doing a little walk around with my car, my 1996 Honda Civic LX with partial EX crossovers, but we'll get into all of that. I haven't done a walk around video like this ever before, and honestly, it's the simpler thing to do. You know, I've always made compilations of either picture montages or video montages or something like that, but basically let's just go over everything. First of all, let's just do a quick sweep around like this. Just show you basically everything that's up. Yeah, this car was actually the first car I ever got. I got it way back, you know, basically when I first got my license. I had probably just turned 15 at the time. I've had this car for over 6 years now. Only been modifying it for about 2.5, maybe 3. And believe me, it's made a lot of progress in that time. But basically the way I think we're going to do this is start from front to back, then look at the interior, and then the engine bay, and other miscellaneous things. Let's start with the front, obvious stuff. We've got this basically Type R grill, that's what we're going to call it. I think that grill in particular is pretty important because it modernizes the look, and of course it gives it that SI or Type R look, you know, whatever. So on the bumper here, I've got a Mugen lip, and I've got Top One Motorsports Type 2 winglets. I debated going with the winglets or just a full front splitter, but the winglets are a little more calmed down. They're not so aggressive, and I think the lip is just a little too much, especially for what I'm doing. I mean, my car is not any sort of rocket, so no need to look crazy fast. I do have HIDs, 6,000K. One of them is out at the moment, but whatever. It still works in the daytime just fine. We've got, for wheels here, Rota Slipstreams. They are 15 by 6.5 plus 42s with 25mm spacers. And so we've got a pretty good amount of poke on the rear, especially, you know, it's just basically perfect. So we'll look at it from the side here. You can see the rear sticks out a decent amount. The front actually looks pretty good itself. Yeah, so there we go. You can see there's quite a bit of tire coming out. Now on the rears, I honestly probably should have gotten some smaller spacers, maybe 15 or 20 millimeters, just because I don't want to have to roll the fenders. I might have to at this point, but I mean, it's not really a huge deal. But my coilovers in the rear are maxed out in terms of dampening, so there's nothing much I can really do besides, you know, get new wheels or something. It's not worth getting new spacers now. I figure I'll just wait till whenever I get new wheels. Now here on the side, we've got, again, Type 2 Top One Motors side skirts. These are on both sides, of course, as you can imagine. Real quick before I forget, I have my brake calipers painted blue. They were painted blue a few years ago, though, so I mean, they've definitely seen better days. The tires aren't anything special. They're just, you know, basically your standard Les Schwab all-season tires. I should probably point this out. I am a college student, and my funds go to a lot of places, and my car can't get the best love in the world. That's why I've been limiting myself to certain things. I mean, there's no reason to get awesome summer tires if I'm just going to need to buy winter tires and daily drive this car. I mean, if it's going to be daily driven and I don't have another car, there's really, you know, the options are limited. So basically here we've got basically eBay clear tails, kind of SI style, you know, mocking the coupe a little bit rather than having the amber piece there. So that's pretty nice. Got a rear JDM badge, and this spoiler is just a stock spoiler. Hope to get rid of that at some point. You know, no rush to really do that. Bodywork is one of the things that I'm not willing to do until I either have a garage or I'm out of school, which when I'm out of school I'll probably have a garage, so that's not a huge deal. We got this Emerald Wax sticker. I've only got 2 stickers on the car. Emerald Wax is one of them. They're one of my sponsors, so that's why they're on there. I don't have a bunch of stickers on my car. I'm not one for that. I don't have a bunch of Illest and Daily Driven and Ricer stickers on my car. I like the cleaner look. I just basically put things on my car that support me as well. So Emerald Wax supports me, I'll support them. That's how it works. We've got the full diffuser from Top One Motorsports, which is another one of my sponsors. I probably should have pointed that out. This thing is awesome. It looks super aggressive. it's helping me put down my 100 wheel horsepower real nice. But basically it's for looks. I mean, my car, I don't know if I would call it a show car. I'd like to call myself humble for saying that, but really it's just because I'm not confident in it. I've got, in terms of exhaust, I'll go into this more when we open up the hood, but I've got DC Sports headers, 421 style, and then MagnaFlow catalytic converter and catback exhaust. It's not the loudest thing in the world. There's a glass pack in there. Of course, there's also a cat. It's not a high flow cat, and I've got a kind of a street style muffler with a tip. Mostly just to sound more conservative. I've wanted that for a while, but I definitely plan on going with something a little bigger at some point. So yeah, basically that's about it for the outside. We've also got window tint. It's legal in the state of Idaho. This came with the car when I bought it. I mean, I've just never messed with it since. It's never really been worth it. The only bit of tint I did mess with was this up front. It's like 6.5, maybe 7 inches of limo tint on the visor there. And here's my decal on the front, Project Street Rules. Got to represent my team, of course, and it's in my favorite placement for, you know, any sort of decal really. It's front windshield, lower end. And I guess this isn't too important, but I'll point it out. Got my license plate relocated to underneath. Obviously, I've still got the holes there. But at some point in the future, I hope to do a front-end conversion to the 2000 style. And at that point, you know, I would patch up the holes. The holes would look perfectly clean. The reason why, you know, I've been riding around like this is because the holes go underneath here. So I could take the license plate off. You wouldn't even see any holes. So that's really the main purpose of that. So basically the outside, actually one more thing, I've got Skunk 2 Racing front and rear camber kits that are about to go on this upcoming Friday. This is Monday, like the 17th, 16th, I don't know. But basically that's what's going on. And I'm not putting them on to add more camber, I'm using it to take camber away. Because again, this being a daily driven car, I can't afford to buy new tires, you know, once or twice a year. You know, that's just not worth it to me. So going for more of a track stance, as you may have guessed, with all the Top One Motors parts. So that's basically how that is. Now the next part might make a few people mad, but my car is an automatic. Yes, let's open the door. Yeah, and I can just tell people are going down to the comments right now, spouting up hate, hitting the dislike button, etc. And basically, why is it automatic? Well, when I got it, the car was in absolute mint condition. It had 80,000 miles. I didn't learn how to drive an automatic when I was in driver's ed, and I was 15 years old. Why the hell did I care if it was automatic or manual, you know? My dad got it for me. I really had no choice in the matter. And that doesn't mean I don't like manuals or I don't want a manual. I am definitely planning on converting this to a manual at some point. And, you know, in theory, that's not really that hard, but I do just not have the funds right now. You know, I've got other things to take care of. These camber kits, for one. I mean, Skunk 2 Racing is awesome, but they're not cheap. So getting the best parts one step at a time. And I tend to be a little OCD with that sort of thing. So it's hard for me to, you know, say I have an automatic, but whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely OCD with small things in the car. I mean, if there's a small problem, I gotta get it fixed. That's just how I am. So that's why the interior is basically perfect. Let's go in there. I've got reverse glow gauges here, and as you can see, the car's at 128,000 miles. Basically, these just glow. I can start up the car real quick and show you guys. Not even gonna start it up. I'm just gonna turn on the lights. Oh, excuse that. My little radar detector. Pretty nice one, actually. Yeah, so we turn on the lights. You're probably not even gonna be able to see it. But I'll close this door. Yeah, so see, off and then on. I've got a little switch down here with a dial to, first of all, change it to green, which you can't really see on the camera, but it's basically blue and green. And then we've got the brightness meter. So see, bright, not bright, bright, not bright. So yeah, that's pretty simple. Otherwise, we got this dual stereo head. I have the original CD player taken out and just have a little storage tray down there. Otherwise, in here, you know, I've got LED lights. In the dome light, I've also got those in the trunk, which I'll show you next, and also in the license plate. So I actually leave the lights on, even though it's gonna make that annoying beeping noise. And wow, totally forgot these were here. I just bought my fiance, well, not like I bought it alone. She just bought herself a new car. We bought it together. And these are her snow tires. They're just sitting in my car because we were traveling with her car. Yeah, you can see there, LED in the trunk, also white LED. You know, just another one of those modernization upgrades. Let's go back in the car and turn that crap off. Now we're gonna open up the hood and show you a few things in there. All right, and here's the engine bay. It's an absolute filthy mess, but that's only because there's no good way for me to clean it up here. I don't really have any way of doing that. I don't have any of my cleaning supplies, basically, you know, small apartment, away from home, you know, school, college town. But there's also no detailing shop here either, which is a huge shame, because otherwise every few months at least I would be going in and getting the engine bay detailed. But you get the gist of it. It's a D16Y7. I've got a Y8 style exhaust setup though, exhaust manifold, you know, DC Sports. It is ceramic coated black, and it's very, very dirty, but ceramic coating cools the engine bay down quite a bit. I've actually got a Y8 intake manifold and throttle body, and basically everything I need to swap this out sitting in my closet at the moment, but just haven't had time to get around that, and I'm waiting till I get some help as well, because I don't have a garage, so it's not worth taking the car apart and then basically leaving it in pieces. Plus, it's my only car. I need to make sure that, you know, I can get it all done in one day in a few hours so that I'm not stranded, you know, when I need to go to work or something. But I've got this carbon fiber dipped valve cover. Now, like I said, a little filthy, but this thing is pretty nice. I actually had it done by Wetworks Imaging over on the east side. You can look them up on Facebook or Instagram. They basically hydro dip anything. It's really cool. It's heat resistant to, I can't remember exactly how much heat, but basically I've had no problems, and it looks really cool. You know, just a standard valve cover. Otherwise, you know, in terms of power, I had a cold air intake at one point, but I didn't like it, so I tossed it. It was just, you know, a cheap AutoZone one, and I plan on going with a brand new one, of course, once I do the intake manifold swap. But basically, right now, that's how that sits. That's how all that sits. No problem. Now, I guess you guys probably want to hear how the car starts. If you've stayed this whole time, you're probably thinking, oh, what the heck, man, you've got a giant diffuser on your car, and you've got an automatic. Oh, you're an awful kind of person. You should be chastised, but whatever. Alright, muted that just in time. But basically, here we are, idling. And I don't even know if you're going to be able to hear much from the camera. I'm just going to stand here near the exhaust. Oh yeah, you can hear something. Yeah, this is why I went with an exhaust like this. It's not obnoxious. It's perfectly okay. It can be decently loud, you know, when you actually get on it. And who do you think I am? Of course I'm going to show you exactly how it sounds. Except, I don't know if you can see it. That's a cop who pulled over a minivan. So basically, I can't be doing all this tomfoolery right now. But basically, it doesn't sound too spectacular. It's not something you go on the internet and rave about. It's, you know, basically the way I can describe it is how a sports car, not calling my car a sports car, but basically how a sports car or like an SI would come from the factory, you know, has a little bit of a rumble, has a little bit of noise, but really it's very usable. It doesn't attract attention from police. Not that I plan on sticking with it, but basically we're gonna have to go somewhere else for me to show you guys that, just so we don't have to worry about the cop. Anyway, I'll meet you guys in a second. But here we are. I'm basically in a new secluded location. So I'll leave the camera right there, out of harm's way. And just gonna rev the car a little bit for you. I don't expect it to sound too good. Just like most Honda engines do over cameras or over the internet, they don't sound nearly as good as they do in person. So my apologies.